Time to put the phone away.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Inshallah, welcome to Islamic Center, the Muslim Center of Greater Princeton. So instead of sitting at the table, I want the youth to come close. Inshallah, we make a circle. All right? Inshallah. Yeah, I see. So come over here. So everyone take out your phone. Take out your phone. Everyone. Take out your phone. Let me see who has an iPhone. If you have an iPhone, let me see. Oh, man. Android. Android? Okay. So do me a favor, put your phones on the table. Put your phones on the table. You know the drill.
Thank you.
All right, my daughter's calling me. All right, Bismillah. Okay. All right, Bismillah. So we just have boys. Are there any young ladies? Are there any young ladies? No? Okay, just guys. All right, cool. Bismillah. So come here, make a circle. Make your geometry teachers proud. Show me a circle. Uncles, brothers, if you could just go back a little. You're welcome, but just go back a little. Just a little. Young people, come closer. Come close. It's okay. Bismillah. Come. You're good. You guys are good. You guys come a little closer. All right. All right. Bismillah. Okay. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sallam. That means, in the name of God, the loving, the eternally loving, all praise and all thanks belong to God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the master of all worlds, all universes. We ask Allah some blessings and peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and his companions, and upon all the prophets and all the messengers. MashaAllah, I'm your brother, Imam Adeyinka Mendes. Really happy to be here with you all. This is a youth session. That's why I asked your dads, uncles, to just give you a little space. This is about you, and I don't have any particular topic. This is really supposed to be an open Q&A for you all to ask questions about anything you want to ask about Islam, about the masjid, about life. If you want to bring up things that you're going through, struggling with, either ask or you can, we don't have any pens or papers. I would ask you can write it and just send it up, inshallah. But this is an open session for brothers and sisters, okay? A little bit about myself. My name is Adeyinka Mendes, Ade for short. I was the first imam here at the Muslim Center of Greater Princeton. I live in Houston now, Houston, Texas. I'm married. I've been married for 24 years, and I have 7 children, all through the same mother. 7 children. My oldest is 22, the youngest is 4. He was a young person. He was 17 years old. Anyone 17 or older? 17, 17. Much older, yeah. He was 17 years old, and the Prophet ﷺ put him at the head of an army of over 3,000 men. Some of those men old enough to be not just his father, his grandfather. Right? Can you imagine? 17, 18 years old, leading an army. That's what the Prophet ﷺ did. He was a leader right then and there. And so, whether you're leading an army, whether you're leading, your soccer team, whether you're leading your chess team, whether you're leading your Boy Scout or Girl Scout group, leadership is something that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has called us to do. And so that's all I'm going to say. I'm really honored to be here with you. I want to know a little bit about each of you, so do me a favor. All right, we'll start from the right over here. 4 things. Tell me your name, your full name. Tell me where your family is from. And I don't mean Pakistan or Egypt or Nigeria or, I mean, where is your family from here? Right here in the States. Where do you grow up? And thirdly, I want to know, what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? Like when you're not at school, when you're not in the masjid, what do you enjoy the most? All right. The 4th thing I want you to tell us is what you want to do to make the world a better place. So we'll go over it again. What's your name? Where's your family from? What do you like to do for fun? And one thing, just one thing that you want to do to make the world a better place, to make your city a better place, right? To make your school a better place, or the masjid, or your neighborhood. Right? You don't have to think of the whole world. If you don't have something, you can simply say, I don't know. That's fine too. Deal? Good? All right, I'll start. My name is Adeyinka Mendes. I'm a convert. I converted to Islam. I wasn't born into a Muslim family. I became Muslim when I was 17. And my family is from Houston, Texas. And for fun, I love hiking. And writing poetry. When I'm really having fun, I write poetry while I'm hiking. And what I want to do to make the world a better place is help my people, help black people become strong again. Black people used to be great civilization. And they were taking slaves about 500 years ago by Europeans. And they become very weak. And I want to see them become strong again in Islam, through Islam, so that they can help humanity. All right?
My name is Dean.
What's your home name? Tell them what your home name.
My name is Dean Alam. My family, I grew up in Princeton, New Jersey, my whole life. Something I like to do. I like to do for fun is I like playing all kinds of sports, like ball sports, net sports, even anything that keeps me active, even working out. Anything you can do, even if that keeps you active rather than just sitting. I enjoy that. When I grow up, I want to become an engineer, and the way I could use that to help the world is I want to help grow and develop cities that have maybe the large poverty rates where there's a lot of untapped potential that we don't know about. see a lot of more growth in the world.
Really, inshallah. I mean, okay, next, Aiden.
My name is Aiden Alam, and I grew up, my family grew up in, I grew up in New Jersey with my family. Something I like to do for fun is I like playing sports. My two favorite sports are basketball and I also like swimming. And it's something that I want to do to help the world become better places, to help others.
I really,
Oh, yeah.
yes, from Morocco,
Yeah.
in New Mexico. Yeah.
My name is Shaykh, and I grew up in England, Arizona. And something I like to do for fun would be play piano or run.
Nice.
I also just play fun soccer.
Yeah.
And then the way I can make the world a better place would be by giving charity.
Yes.
My name is Serena
Are you his sister?
My name is Serena Yusha. I'm from New Jersey. My family's also from New Jersey. We grew up there. And one of my favorite things to do is like go in the pool and swim with my friends. And then I can also help the world and to make it like a better place is like recycle so the environment will be better.
My name is Leon Yusuf. I grew up in Somerset, New Jersey. I like to play basketball and soccer for fun. And one way to help the world be a better place is to stop war.
Basketball, soccer. Right, and so I heard city planning, urban development in low and underdeveloped areas around the world. I heard stopping poverty, right? Yeah. And then I heard philanthropy. You said charity, but what grown-ups call what you just said is philanthropy. You heard that before? Philanthropy. It's SAT word. Correct. And I heard you mention recycling, right? And cleaning up the environment, right? And I did heard you mention stopping war, right?
My name is Qasim Bilal. I grew up in New Jersey. I grew up initially mostly in Piscataway, then moved here to West Windsor. All the way to the fun. I try to stay very involved in like politics. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading. I don't read as many books recently. I mostly read papers and essays and all this stuff to try to keep up to date.
What periodicals do you
Sorry?
What periodicals do you like reading?
I go back and forth. I never really stick with one specific periodical. Sometimes I find myself reading 130-page Supreme Court decisions so I can actually understand the things that are happening. But that ties into what I want to do to make the world a better place, which I'm working on, hopefully becoming a lawyer right now. I just graduated from so classified as you. But
Well, you know what? Islamically, you're a youth until you're 40.
okay. And I guess I'm well within that one.
In Islam, yeah. Once you're 40, then you can 39 to 12. That's neat. Yeah.
But
So yeah, she's.
yeah, so I want to try to be a lawyer, specifically the kind where I can see the tangible positive effect that you could make on the community. I aim to hopefully, my parents would like this so much because it's not the best paying thing to pay on a student loan. Yeah, I would love to become like a public defender somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went to college in DC, so living in a city where you can see especially when you become involved in those communities and you really research them, you realize the over-incarcerated, the over-policed communities, vulnerable communities, especially in cities, that need representation, in a way.
The representation that really cares about them. Not just the paycheck.
Yeah.
You still in DC?
I went to college in DC. So I went to George Washington University.
Okay, wow, sure. Yeah, sure. You
somewhere else. If I get in there, then if things work out. But it's yeah, I'm taking a gap year right now. Next year, I'm going to go to law school.
Okay, great. Okay, excellent. That's great. Yes, sir. That's it.
Assalamualaikum.
Yes.
My name is Yasin Mubarak. I live here in Gobblesville, New Jersey. I like to play ping pong and soccer sometimes.
You and I are are you really good?
Yeah, I take classes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we too. Yeah.
And then, one thing I do is I go over like I want to be a doctor, but I think it's like sometimes it's not always available to everyone. So I want to make that my goal.
Great. What did you all notice about what people, what you heard from each other?
You're related somehow.
Yeah.
One minute.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have a lot in common. Or it's not any accident that you're all here, all 6 of you. Great. So let me make sure I get everyone's name. Some of you already know, right? So Dean, David, Cheyenne. Yeah, Cheyenne. Samira.
No, Serena.
Serena, I knew it was a sign. Okay, Serena, yes. And remind me of your name. Ayana Serena. Ayana Serena. Okay, and your name is
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome. Ayana Serena. Okay, I know this. Yeah, I know I see. It's good to know. All right. All right, what do you tell you guys about today? I guess one thing I'll just say is when I was born in Ohio, my father immigrated here from Nigeria. My mother is from Houston, Texas. She's African American. And so I kind of grew up, not kind of, I grew up in, immigrant world. Right, so I have a whole bunch of relatives from Nigeria, and then I also have a whole bunch of relatives that are Americans. Been here hundreds of years. I converted to Islam, so my first 17 years I was a Christian. The last 33 years, alhamdulillah, I've been Muslim. Alhamdulillah, I pray I die on Islam. So I chose to be Muslim. I've lived everywhere. I've lived in the hood, in the inner city, I've lived in the suburbs. I grew up in the suburbs. I lived in Africa, Nigeria, lived in the States, lived in Europe, lived in the Middle East. The only place I haven't lived is Asia and South America. But yeah, so that's just a little bit about me. Well, what do you guys want to talk about? Or what questions? Yeah. Samira, right?
Serena.
Forgive me. Serena. Like Serena Williams. You play tennis? Okay, that's how I remember you. Serena.
We can talk about the summer. What we're gonna do in the summer.
Yes. Isn't it hot today?
Huh?
Isn't it hot today? It's good for swimming. You like swimming.
We're gonna go tomorrow.
Oh, mashallah. Jersey has great beaches too. Jersey Shore. Yeah. So Selena wants to talk about summer plans. So what are your summer plans?
My summer plans is like going to the pool a lot, having sleepover with my cousins, playing with my friends, and like playing video games and watching TV.
You play video games? What's your favorite video game?
It's either Fortnite or Minecraft.
Wait, you play Fortnite?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Okay. And what do you do on Fortnite?
On Fortnite, I play either like Super Pet or play with these
Okay.
followers.
Ah,
He's my cousin. He's my cousin.
okay, cool. All right, cool. Are you really good? What's your highest score?
Highest score in what?
Fortnite. Have you ever made it to the leaderboard?
Huh?
Have you made it to the leaderboard? Yeah. What kind of skins do you like?
I only have a few because I haven't been playing for a long time.
Oh,
I only have been playing for at least like 2 years. I'm going to play for
okay, cool. All right. Who else wants to share their summer plans? Hey, I was like, that was so amazing. I played for that with my son. Yeah, he's like, oh, you know, Fortnite is pretty deep. Yeah, he played up every night. Anyone else want to share? Summer plans? She nominated you. She pointed you. Hey, same thing. It's swimming, sleepovers,
No.
video games.
No.
Just
Video
video
games,
games.
yeah. Sleepovers, he likes to bully his younger cousins about making them cry.
Oh,
Or
really?
and then he likes name calling me, like sometimes he, like always he calls me a rat.
Really? Like a snitch?
I snitch on him. He
Oh.
does not. He calls me a rat, an orangutan. That's what he calls me.
Really? It looks like I need to send Ayan to brother academy to learn how to be a nice big brother. Mm-hmm. Okay, Ayan, you're gonna have to talk. Okay. So talk to me. What are your plans?
Yeah,
What do you? This is what I ask my children. What do you want to accomplish this summer? Okay. Swimming, video games, that's kind of it. Friends, hanging out with friends. But I want you all to think of something. Think of what you want to accomplish in the next 2 months. You guys have 2 months almost, right? In Houston, summer's almost over. Because our summer break starts beginning of June. So August, kids are back in school. You guys still have a whole another 2 months. Yes?
My school ended on June 25th,
Yeah,
and then my school starts on September 7th.
exactly. Yeah. So you guys still have a whole summer ahead of you. What do you want to accomplish? You can do a lot in 2 months. Okay? Anyone else? Can you let me know? We'll come back to you. Okay? Let everyone else have a chance, then we'll come back to you. Okay?
So starting from May, I've been like trying to go to the gym consistently. So in my first goal, I want to accomplish at least go to 5 out of 7 days a week, like almost in the second hallway or something. And then my second goal is I'm going to be doing physics lectures this summer at Princeton. And my goal is to hopefully publish.
You're writing something?
Yeah, I'm creating a research paper with a student.
Oh, I don't know.
Quantum physics.
That's great. When did you into that?
Yeah,
You never told me.
yeah, I learned about it like last summer, and like it's just so interesting. There's so much like unknown. There's so much to research.
Yeah, and there's a lot that I think Islam, I don't know if there's a lot that Islam can help us understand about quantum mechanics, quantum physics.
I actually talked about this with Mom Safwan and told me the same thing.
Yeah.
Thinking about the world through physics and just thinking about all our calculated, not even calculated, the way everything just adds up, and then you learn about through physics and math, and you realize that all this is like done perfectly. I feel like just like learning physics and like studying engineering, just like appreciate the creation.
Yeah.
And learning about it. And the more you learn about the creation, the more you learn about creativity.
And there's a book, I was just with one of the uncles in this community last night. He has a 700-page book about what you're talking about. It's about to come out in August, inshallah. Yeah. It's called, well, he's right here. I'm praying with him. He's right here. It's called Allah's Universe. If you have a Shiraz? Yeah, they're that. Yeah. Talk to him. He'd love to talk to you. I was in his library yesterday. Amazing. Yeah, amazing. Cool. So you're in the gym. Is your goal to be consistent, or is your goal to bulk up, to cut?
I want to stay at maintenance, like weight wise.
Yeah.
But I do want to get stronger. So I've already seen like growth from that a little bit in the past like 2 months.
And how do you measure your strength?
Just like how much I can like. I try to like fail in between 6 to 7 reps. So it's like the weight that goes to, it's like seeing the growth. That's how.
So he has an academic goal as well as an athletic goal, right? That's realistic. Have you guys ever heard of something called SMART goals? What is SMART stand for? SMART. What is SMART stand for? So a SMART goal, it doesn't just mean a goal that's like really intelligent. Like SMART stands for 5 things.
M stands for measure.
Yes, right. So the M stands for measurable, meaning you can measure your progress and you can measure whether or not you achieve the goal.
It is
Attainable, yeah, it's realistic, right? Achievable, attainable. What does the S stand for? Specific. So S, specific goal. I want to go to the gym. I want to write a research paper in physics. That's specific. Right? N, measurable. You can measure it. A, it's attainable, it's achievable. It's something that you can realistically do in the summer, right? For example, or over a year, right? It depends on whatever the goal is. It could be 5 years. What is the R stand? Realistic. Exactly. Realistic. It should be a goal that you can realistically achieve. And what does the T stand? Yeah, you have a specific amount of time to complete that goal. And that's called a SMART goal. So whenever you set goals for yourself or for if you have a team, right, that you're leading or that you're part of, think of those 5 things. Right? Specifically what are we going to do? How do we measure it? Is it possible to attain? Is it realistic? And how much time will it take? All right, who wants to share their statement?
So next year is going to be the first year that I'm trying to make a school team for basketball. So I'm going to try to practice for basketball this year. I'm going to 7th grade, and I'm going to try to make the first team to be leaders. Also,
So what are you going to do towards, how are you going to practice, if we going to practice? That's good. So he wants to make he call it varsity. So that varsity middle school now. So the varsity basketball team, and he wants to learn how to eat Arabic food. Like those are really close. And is the Arabic this summer? Is the Arabic next year? By next year, what is the Arabic? Inshallah. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. With basketball, you want to play with as many different people as possible. So the team is cool, but you want to play with other guys. Because the more people you play basketball with, the more different styles you see. You got to defend different kinds of players. You know how to go on the offense against So we have a new youth.
Everybody knows me.
Are you under 39? Are you 39 and under?
Yeah.
Okay, you can be. Tell us your name, your full name, first and last name. Where are you from here in the States? Where did you grow up here? What city you grew up in? What do you like to do for fun?
I would like to go basketball.
And almost done, almost done. What do you like to do for fun? And then the last thing, one thing you'd like to do to make the world a better place, or to make New Jersey a better place, or your mention in your school, or go ahead.
So my name is Pulimula Khanagari. I was born in Atlantic City.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Atlantic City.
Yep.
You come to Atlantic City?
Yeah.
Mashallah.
I grew up there basically.
Ah,
So my whole life I've been living in New Jersey.
yeah.
And for fun I used to play basketball when I was younger. So younger age.
And one thing you like to do, so we have a lot of people like basketball. You guys got a good team. For sure. And one thing you like to do to make the world a better place.
Help out. Help them get better food. Help them money.
So now, please introduce yourself. Fahim Allah, right? Always do your Fahim.
Yeah,
Fahim,
Fahim.
okay, Fahim. Okay, so, we're just talking about summer plans. Serena said she wants to talk about summer plans, so we're talking about summer plans. All right, we're just going around, no particular order. Anyone who wants to share? If you don't want to share, that's fine. Go ahead.
Most of my summer plans were just coming here to New Jersey. And then also I want to enter next year in high school.
But where are you going to?
And
That's big.
study for all my different classes.
That's good. Yeah, my son just finished ninth grade. He's going into 10th grade. I told him everything that you do from the very first day of high school is going to affect the rest of your life. And your most important years in high school are those first three. Don't goof off your freshman year. Really. If you work really hard and you get straight A's and you're involved in sports, and, you're involved in clubs that interest you, and you are really engaged, those first 3 years, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, your senior year will just be a cakewalk. You'll be a breeze. And college will be a breeze. If you work really hard in the first 2 years. I don't just think SATs, but just being, being in school. So yeah, that's great. I mean, high school's a big step. It's not really sweet. Yeah, it's not really sweet. Cool. Anyone else? Some plans? Okay, cool. Are you good? Serene? You feel complete? Yes? Alright. Anything else you guys want to talk about or ask? That should be fun. If not, I have some questions for you guys. What time is it? I am. Okay. So, we're going to go for another What did you say?
There's a big house we walk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, what is your most memorable summer as a youth?
It was the summer right before the King's. Yeah, because I had a really great childhood. Alhamdulillah. Really great youth. My teenage high school was really great. Alhamdulillah. There was a lot of changes because we moved back to America right before I started high school. So it was a
Big step, right?
not as a big step, it was culture shock. I was in culture shock for 2 years. You know, it was very different than going to school in Nigeria. I was born here, moved to Nigeria when I was 6, and then we moved back to America when I was 13. So a lot of changes. But the summer of 1992, I was blessed to be chosen to go on a 6-week trip to Palestine. It was me and 11 other high school students. And it was a program that had been going on for some years. It was established by a senator, or a congressman in Houston. And it was basically an opportunity for 12 American high school students to go to Palestine, Israel, the state of Israel. For 6 weeks, we lived with, some of us lived with Jewish families, like me. Some of us lived with Palestinian families. And we toured the whole country, from the north to the south. Tel Aviv to Beersheba, in the Negev Desert. And we visited all the religious sites from different religions: Muslim, Jewish, Christian, Baha'i, Druze. We worked on a kibbutz and lived on a kibbutz, which is a commune. We worked on a farm. We experienced socialism in a micro community. We went to the Knesset, Parliament, observed Israeli politics. It was actually an election at the time we were there between the Labour Party and the Likud Party. So we got to see that. We met members of the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization. So it was just, and then we were snorkeling in the Red Sea. We went to the Dead Sea and put mud all over our bodies, which I wouldn't do today, because Muslims don't go to places where they're not punish people. But it was, we did all the cultural stuff, tourist stuff, with shopping, Aqsa, which I'm Aqsa. And I don't think I've ever done so much in 6 weeks since then, right? So many different things. And we even met this community of African Americans living in Palestine who moved there in the 60s. Right? They moved there in the 60s. It's like, it's really cool too. Yeah, we really do. They built their own community, farming, made like 90% of their own clothes. They spoke English, Hebrew, Arabic, and Swahili fluent. Amazing. It changed my life. And I embraced Islam. Alhamdulillah, but I was embraced 9 months after that trip. So that was my most memorable. It changed everything for me. Yeah. So that was it was really fun. It was a fun summer, but I also learned a lot. I learned a lot. Yeah.
Does it still do that? Do you know if they still do that?
I think they do, but I don't know if they're doing it now because of the last time I checked, because they have a Facebook page. It's called the Mickey Leland Kibbutz Internship Program. But they only take students from Houston and Minneapolis. I don't know about Minneapolis, but yeah, they might still do it. But you know, and I always would hope that we, and when I embrace the sound, that we can do something like that for Muslim youth. And it was all expenses paid. All I brought was spending money. You know? And we stayed in like nice hotels and with families. I mean, it was interesting because, you know, the hotels we stayed at were really nice. But when you stay with families, you just live with the families, you know? And, you know, the families weren't like really rich, they were just like middle class, you know, Palestinian or Jewish families. When we lived in the kibbutz, it was like bare bones. You just, you know, it was just very like, huh?
It's like a hospital.
No, it's like a comedy. You know, you eat together at the same time. You don't own anything like kibbutz. You know, you share with everybody. You know, it was communal living. You know. So what time is it? You only have a few minutes. Sorry? Okay, so we have 9 minutes. 2:21. Any other questions?
Actually, I don't think it's like fair to ask this question because only Allah knows. But like, do you think that you would embrace the songs like you know the one in the church?
Oh yeah. There's all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I have a lot of friends who embrace Islam around the same time. Like a lot of us. There was, you know, that year, because a lot of guys embraced Islam in 1993, and in Houston, I had like, it was like 20, 30 of us, all around the same age. We used to hang out, and we all embraced Islam at the same time. They didn't go to They didn't go to us. They didn't go to us. Yeah. And it wasn't just the trip. It was the music I was listening to. You know, a lot of the rap music at that time had a lot of Islamic influence. Yeah.
want to ask you, this was back in 1993, right?
Well, the trip was in 92, and my dad December 93.
You hear a lot from people in this country who, especially recently, when they've gone on their trips to the state of Israel, and that it becomes visible to them the kinds of things that they haven't heard about, the kinds of things that they're not taught here, the oppression that they see of the Palestinians there. How much of that was visible to you when you were
Everything was all visible. Because at that time in my life, I started to become politically and socially conscious, right? Thanks to my parents, or my mother especially, the church I used to go to, and the mentors at that church, you know, and then the music as well, like the rap music.
New York rap
in the
music?
90s was, they called it conscious hip hop. It was very political, very socially conscious. It wasn't the stuff that they play on the radio now. Yeah, it was like really
Like back in like the
edgy.
90s. I was born in 95, so like
Yeah. You were born.
yeah, that's why I know.
Right, yeah.
Like 20 years after, like I noticed like some of the rappers that they sing nowadays are just not the same.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
But we had Public Enemy, we had, Cool.
It was like I remember like when I was younger, like I used to listen to it on the bus. I think it was 99.3.
Okay.
Yeah, there was 99 station for 99, and I read the bus. We used to go to school, and then we would play for us.
Well, that was the golden age.
Yeah, go
That's what we call the golden age of hip hop. So the music, then Rodney King, the LA riots, it just happened, you know. Just all this is going on, you know, at the same time, right? Yeah, yeah, and it was a really powerful time. So when I came back from Palestine, we had to, they asked us to share our experiences with some of the people who sent us from the American Jewish community, because they helped sponsor us. And, I was kind of naive. I was 16 years old, and I didn't understand all the political politics around our trip and funding. And so I'm at this luncheon that's full of Jewish Americans. My poor mother was there, right? And I'm just talking about my trip, and I said, Israel's a bit racist. Because I know what racism looks like. Because I'm an American. I know what apartheid looks like.
You shoot against Palestinians, you shoot against even Ethiopian Israelis as well.
Exactly. And I had a chance to meet a lot of Ethiopian Jews when I was there. They told me. They treat us like trash. We have to prove that we're Jewish, give up our traditions, all this stuff, man. And they really like Mohammedans. Even though they're Ethiopian Jews, they love Mohammedans, right? Because they understood what oppression feels like and how important it is to fight injustice. And then when we went to the Palestinian neighborhoods, you could see the differences, the inequities between the Palestinian neighborhoods and the infrastructure, the lack of infrastructure in their neighborhoods, and then the Jewish suburbs, which I was actually grateful that the organizers did that. If they wanted to, they could have just kept this in Haifa, Tel Aviv, in the Jewish suburbs. They didn't have to expose us to the Palestinian families, to the PLO. So I think they tried to be balanced, but they're still very biased.
Whether intentional or unintentional, they
Yeah.
expose you to these.
Yeah. I went to the Dome of the Rock in Al-Aqsa, and that was the cherry. Like that, we went to that African American place. And they weren't Muslim. They were just like Jewish African American. It changed my life. So what you guys got going on the rest of the day? Right?
My parents are out. They just went dehydrated.
Yeah, it's hot.
It's hot, like it literally hits you.
Yeah.
Is it harder here?
This is not hot.
100.
Last week was like
Bro,
100.
even when it's hot, even when it's like 100, 105 here, it's not like this.
Not like it.
It's humid.
This is,
That's the desert.
it's like,
Yeah.
Texas is a
My
whole
older
other-
sister right now, she's in Texas.
and you guys got trees here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
They cut down all the trees in Houston. Houston's a big swamp.
Yeah,
It's a swamp.
that's why it's so humid.
Yeah. And that's why the flooding is so, it floods so much.
I had an older sister in Texas right now, she's in Dallas, working at the hospital.
Dallas is better because it's north.
No, yeah, so she's saying that she works in the emergency room. I was talking to her last night, she gets up work at 8 o'clock in her time. Yeah, so I talked to her once in a while.
Yeah. What's going on the rest of the day?
I don't know.
Okay. So he doesn't know what he's doing the rest of the day. This is Tananya.
Probably hanging out with Dawson and my dad.
That's the best. Yes.
And
What about you, Serena?
I would probably like coloring comics.
You said color? Good. And color. Yeah. All right, good. But don't get it back. Turn on you. Okay? All right? Forgive. He's like, what? Forgive Serena. Okay. What about you, Possum?
I'm gonna go back home and work on some job application.
Mhm.
And then hang out with my friends later. And then if I have time after, I'll go to the gym. I was supposed to wake up early and go to the gym too. I slept in.
Yeah.
I slept.
That's good. That's good. But it's good. Yeah. Cool. Mashallah. You're looking for jobs now, or you're applying to law school, or?
Looking for jobs right now because I graduated just a couple months ago in May from college. And now I'm taking this gap year.
Gap year.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start applying to law school come September.
Take the LSAT.
I have one LSAT taken from last year, and I got a very good score. But I'm taking it again this year to make up for some lacking in my GPA.
Yeah, the show you get high.
Yeah.
You get 180, 179,
Yeah.
close to it. Inshallah.
Close.
Yeah. And guessing what's the rest of the day have. So you.
I might go to the gym with my friends.
We're gonna. I don't know. Muhammad's in. Do you travel? Is he around?
Yeah.
Are you doing this? Okay. Are you doing it? All right, guys. Thank you. It's been nice spending time with you. If you enjoyed this session, you'll let the brothers and sisters here at the Masjid know, let your parents know. You know, we can do this more regularly, inshallah. You know, we used to get together. Remember that? Yeah, we used to get together every week back in the day. You know, so, and alhamdulillah, I had the pleasure of making Umrah with Aiden and Dee last Thanksgiving. You know, that was really special, really amazing. You know, so,
It's easier for you guys to come and see my new house in South Jersey. I'm gonna do a barbecue for everybody. I barbecue.
you barbecue?
I barbecue.
You grill?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Bismillah.
Yeah,
Everyone heard him.
Yeah, you guys
We're
want
going to hold you to it.
I know.
Okay?
Yeah, let us know.
I'm going to tell you
I can do
about
it. Hold it up to normally for right out for the food on the grill.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about Fareed says you're going to grill for this. Okay, let's close the dua. All right? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Oh Allah, we thank you for this gathering. We ask that you bless us to realize our goals. We ask that you forgive us, have mercy upon us. We ask, oh Allah, that you bless our parents, our siblings, our families, our friends, our teachers. We ask